Pokémon!
I'm Andrew,
And I'm Andrew.
artsmith and wordsmith of the Mithril Canvas, where we create homebrew items, monsters, and more for you to use in your D&D 5th edition campaigns. Pokemon has been on our minds this past month, for no particular reason. So we decided to revisit a favorite challenge of ours, Poke Fusions, where we roll to pick one Pokemon and one D&D monster to mash together for a brand new creature.
We actually did a pass of these a few years back, before we were even making YouTube videos. We were inspired to take on this challenge by the work of fellow creature creator JessJackdaw. If you enjoyed this video, you should absolutely check out his videos as well, which we'll link in the description below.
This year, we wanted to record the process and show you all how we came up with our creations. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, let's see what we got.
Pokemon, we got 971. Okay.
Graveyard.
Alright, it's cute. It's
Yeah.
fun. I like that.
Grevard.
We're so close to Houndstone. I would have loved to do Houndstone. It's fine. It's fine.
And for D&D,
630.
630.
What's that?
Chwinga! Oh!
I don't even know what that is, actually.
It's a little gnome guy.
Okay.
I have one in my my Frost Maiden campaign.
Okay.
He's my little guy.
I have to look this up later.
Grevard is a ghostly dog that loves to play with humans, but unknowingly saps them of their vitality. The Chwinga is a small elemental sprite that is similarly fascinated by humankind and enjoys learning more about them. By combining these two playful little spirits, we have come up with the Grave Grim.
When a cemetery lies undefended and vulnerable to grave robbers, or where restless spirits yearn for release, one will often find a Grave Grim. Taking the form of a partially spectral black hound, it adopts a mask of wax to form a more terrifying visage.
Grim are each bound to a gravesite from which they are born. They can manifest from a loyal hound that died grieving at their owner's grave, or coalesce from pure ethereal energy, and a cemetery is frequently targeted by grave robbers. Regardless of their origins, they defend their charge without fear for their own fate, as they will revive at the site as long as it remains undesecrated.
A haunting sight to all who live, the Grim is particularly feared amongst grave robbers and necromancers. Its howl siphons the life from the living, leaving their cold bodies to be found the next morning. While they can act as protectors of benign spirits, the mere presence of a Grim is enough to strike terror into the hearts of malicious undead, as its very nature rattles their instincts.
Despite the fear they imbue in the living and dead alike, Grim have been known to show curiosity towards humankind. They become extremely affectionate towards those who share their respect for the dead and help them resolve the needs of restless spirits. While those ignorant of their nature often flee at the sight of this ominous creature, those who know its true purpose regard them as the most loyal of hounds. Alright.
947.
947.
Alright, pretty close.
Pretty close to what we had. 947.
Bramblegast.
Bramblegast.
Okay.
We're going ghost on these.
Apparently.
Well,
I guess we got a theme.
it's true. D&D 1743. 1743. Hydra!
Bramblegast Hydra. Well, we're always talking about how we want strong plants.
Yep. Well.
That's an interesting combo.
It's true.
Bramblegast is a spooky, tumbleweed-like Pokemon that saps the life energy from its prey, which it captures within its branches. And the Hydra needs no introduction, with its famous regenerating heads that grow more numerous the longer it survives. Together, they make for a particularly nasty predator that's sure to give your party trouble, the Hydrangle.
Appearing as little more than a bundle of dried sticks and vines, a Hydrangle is a fearsome predator that few recognize until it's too late. Those unaware of its true nature are blindsided by the creature's disguise, but those who know what to expect have come to listen for the telltale rustling of it rolling across the land in search of its next meal.
Due to their curious ability to not only regenerate from damage, but further grow from it, long-lived Hydrangles are particularly dangerous. Any half-hearted attempts to slay one often simply result in the creature growing larger and mightier, until it becomes unmanageable by regular means.
While other plants and plant-like creatures require little more than sunlight, water, and air for sustenance, the Hydrangle subsists itself on the lifeblood of other creatures. Those caught within its brambles are subject to 1,000 pricks and points, their blood leaching into the Hydrangle's thirsty branches. Similar to other carnivorous plants, a Hydrangle can survive long after its last meal, as it conserves its precious energy by letting the wind carry it onwards in search of more prey.
Often, a Hydrangle can survive in its hunting grounds for years before being discovered. With casual passerby unlikely to discern its true nature and any unfortunate victim succumbing to its deadly assault, there is usually little to point towards its existence for the surrounding population. Its ability to relocate after feeding only adds to the difficulty of ascertaining what manner of being is responsible for the deaths of those around its habitat.
Alright, let's roll.
Yes, Pokemon.
Oh!
6!
Oh, that's a... I think that's Charizard.
Oh my god.
Right on the money.
Charizard!
Oh no! Oh no, don't make me make a Charizard fusion. Alright, off to a strong start. Let's go.
Now let's ruin it. What we got?
Hit me with the flump.
36-32.
A Yagnoloth?
Yagnoloth. This guy looks kind of dumb. I kind of see how this could go.
Okay.
There's a way that this works.
I like that massive arm as one of its abilities.
Charizard, one of the most iconic Pokemon since Gen 1. A flying lizard with fiery breath, it pairs interestingly with our D&D monster of choice, the Yagnoloth, a fiendish contractor of sorts that negotiates on behalf of its underlings. Not as obvious a combination as our previous two designs, but we think we found a good mix of their respective traits with the Cinder Broker.
Amidst the innumerable demons and devils that populate the lower planes, Cinder Brokers are a unique breed that choose to deal almost exclusively in business with elemental beings. Armed not only with impressive bulk and sharpened wits, these curious fiends have an understanding of the plane of fire that surpass almost any other. With the endless conflicts between their fiendish brothers, Cinder Brokers have no shortage of clientele, especially when they're willing to deal with both sides.
Due to the nature of their work, Cinder Brokers are generally on excellent terms with elemental beings, particularly those based around fire. As such, they serve as perfect middlemen for those who seek assistance from such forces, handling the negotiations and translation for a fee.
The biggest secret to a Cinder Broker's success is the manner by which they gain access to the plane of fire with ease. Fusing their own form with that of an interplanar portal, they act as their own gate to summon elementals. Weaponizing this privilege makes these fiends deadly in drawn-out battles, as they slowly welcome more and more fiery allies to their side.
Well-spoken, professional, and above all, fair. Unlike their more devious cousins, Cinder Brokers work to maintain amicable relationships with their clientele, as well as their prospective hires, in order to foster long-lasting relationships. They hold little to no judgment towards those in need of their services. All from the most holy of priests to the most depraved cultist are welcome to sign on the dotted line.
For our last fusion, we turn the choices over to our patrons to vote on what we'd be mixing together. And the two creatures they decided to fuse were Empoleon, the metallic penguin that takes great pride in its strength and position, and the Draconian Dreadnought, a shape-shifting monstrosity that takes the form of those it slays.
Another odd pairing, but after some brainstorming, we landed on a concept that pushes this mixture to another level. Riffing on Empoleon's water and steel types drove us to the idea of using Mercury, which felt fitting for the Dreadnought's shape-shifting abilities. And from that deadly combination comes a deadly assassin construct, the Usurper.
Though grand crusades and boisterous warfare may galvanize the masses, the true battles happen in the shadows, where dagger and poison can end a conflict long before it comes to fruition. Armed with little more than its poisonous blades and an ever-warping body, a Usurper can pose a greater threat to most organizations than any show of force.
The end result of intensive magical research and development, the Usurper is the pinnacle of assassination and infiltration. With an ooze-like metallic body that allows it to enter through even the smallest of cracks, it stalks its target from the shadows until commanded to strike. No matter how secure one believes their fortifications are, the Usurper is sure to find a route inside.
Capable of assuming the form of those it has slain, the Usurper is often employed against high-ranking members of opposing factions in order to destroy them from within. Once it has seized control, any cult, army, or kingdom is sure to fall shortly after, or be deployed at the behest of the Usurper's master.
Though they may seem like the perfect tools for beings in power, over time, Usurpers prove themselves to be somewhat unpredictable on their missions. With orders to erase the leader of any group, the Usurpers began to see any powerful being as their target, even after their mission was complete. Many attempts are made to rid the constructs of this flaw, but time and time again they would never cease to seek out the leader and end their life. Thus, deployment of a Usurper required much stricter surveillance and selection of targets, utilizing them only when absolutely necessary.
We hope you enjoyed what we came up with this month. You can find the stat sheets for all these creatures in the description below, and if you have any thoughts on how to incorporate them into your adventures, please feel free to share your ideas.
We may revisit Pokefusions again in the future, so if you've got any ideas for potential combinations, shout them out in the comments below.
A special thanks to all of our generous patrons who make this all possible. We literally could not do this without your support.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time.